Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled amidst lush greenery and rolling hills, there lived a sweet little girl named Red Riding Hood. She was known for her vibrant personality, her kindness, and her trademark red hooded cloak that she wore everywhere. Red Riding Hood lived with her loving mother in a cozy cottage at the edge of the forest. One bright morning, Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen. "My dear," she said, "your grandmother is feeling unwell. Would you be a darling and take this basket of goodies to her? It will surely lift her spirits." Red Riding Hood's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Of course, Mother. I'll go right away," she exclaimed, taking the basket filled with freshly baked bread, fruits, and a jar of honey. "Remember, my child," her mother cautioned, "stay on the path and do not dawdle. The forest can be unpredictable, and there are dangers lurking within. I promise to be careful, Mother," Red Riding Hood assured her with a smile, tying her red hood securely around her head. With the basket in hand, Red Riding Hood skipped merrily along the winding forest path, the sunlight filtering through the tall trees, casting dappled patterns on the ground. Birds sang melodiously, and the scent of wildflowers perfumed the air. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Red Riding Hood noticed a rustling in the bushes nearby. "Who's there?" she called out, her heart fluttering with curiosity. A mischievous voice replied, "It is I, the cunning wolf. What brings such a sweet little girl like you into these woods?" Unperturbed by the wolf's presence, Red Riding Hood replied politely, "I am on my way to visit my grandmother, who lives on the other side of the forest. She is feeling unwell, and I've brought her some goodies to make her feel better." The wolf's eyes gleamed with hunger, but he masked his intentions with a charming smile. "How thoughtful of you," he remarked. "But my dear, this forest can be dangerous for a little girl all alone. Let me accompany you and ensure your safe passage to your grandmother's house." Red Riding Hood hesitated, her intuition tingling with caution. However, she remembered her mother's warning to be wary of strangers. "Thank you for your offer, Mr. Wolf, but I'm quite capable of finding my own way," she replied politely but firmly, before quickening her pace along the path. The wolf watched her go, his hunger turning to frustration as he realized his prey had slipped from his grasp. "We shall meet again, little Red Riding Hood," he muttered to himself, disappearing into the depths of the forest. Meanwhile, Red Riding Hood continued her journey, her heart pounding with excitement and a hint of fear. The forest grew denser, and the shadows lengthened as the sun began its descent toward the horizon. Yet, Red Riding Hood pressed on, guided by her unwavering determination to reach her grandmother's house. At last, she emerged from the depths of the forest and found herself standing before her grandmother's quaint cottage, nestled in a clearing surrounded by wildflowers. With a sigh of relief, Red Riding Hood approached the front door and gave a gentle knock. "Grandmother, it's me, Red Riding Hood," she called out, her voice tinged with concern. To her surprise, the door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit interior. Red Riding Hood stepped inside cautiously, her senses on high alert. Something felt amiss. "Grandmother, where are you?" she called out again, her heart pounding with unease. Suddenly, from the shadows, emerged a figure cloaked in darkness, its eyes glinting with malice. It was the cunning wolf, disguised in the grandmother's clothing, his sharp teeth bared in a menacing grin. "Ah, little Red Riding Hood, you've come just in time for dinner," he growled, his voice dripping with menace. Red Riding Hood's blood ran cold as she realized the deception. Summoning all her courage, she refused to succumb to fear. "You may have fooled me once, Wolf, but you shall not deceive me again," she declared boldly, her voice steady despite the tremble in her limbs. With a swift motion, Red Riding Hood reached into her basket and retrieved a shining blade, a gift from her woodcutter father. Holding it aloft, she confronted the wolf with steely determination. "Back, foul creature. You shall not lay a claw on me or my grandmother," she exclaimed, her eyes blazing with defiance. The wolf recoiled, his cunning facade crumbling in the face of Red Riding Hood's bravery. "You dare defy me, little girl," he snarled, his fangs bared in a menacing snarl. But Red Riding Hood stood her ground, her gaze unwavering. "I'm not just a little girl, Wolf. I am Red Riding Hood, and I'm not afraid to fight for what is right," she declared, her voice ringing with courage. With a fierce cry, Red Riding Hood lunged forward, her blade flashing in the dim light of the cottage. The wolf howled in pain as the blade struck true, driving him back into the shadows from whence he came. Victorious, Red Riding Hood rushed to her grandmother's side, untying her from the bonds that held her captive. Together, they emerged from the cottage into the fading light of dusk, their spirits unbroken and their bond stronger than ever. As they made their way back through the forest, the last remnants of fear melted away, replaced by a sense of triumph and newfound wisdom. For in the face of danger, Red Riding Hood had discovered the power that lay within her all along, the power of courage, resilience, and unwavering determination. And so, with the setting sun painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, Red Riding Hood and her grandmother returned home, their hearts filled with gratitude for each other and the countless adventures that lay ahead. And they lived happily ever after.